Welcome to day 7 of the Silkway Rally, the penultimate proper stage of this tri-country adventure. As with any Dakar race, solidarity is a hugely important feature for any competitor. The ability to sacrifice your own race to help others keep moving. Without friends on this rally, it can be a daunting and lonely adventure. Even in the Silkway, this companionship is evident, as we see Agram Anev getting help from Aiza Mammadov and Gurban Berti Danatoro. But it's not just the competitors who help each other out. It's hot work fixing your car in 35 degrees of desert heat. And the passionate local community try to lend a hand here to Pavel Loganov, who receives milk as he waits to repair his Nissan. It works in both ways, karma if you like. Now Agam Murat Anev is moving. He tries to help his fellow competitors. Wherever you are in the world, the Dakar spirit is always with you. Today's stage takes us from Turkmenbashi to Balkanabad on the Silk Road, a 345-kilometre journey over fast open landscapes as the rally heads east for the first time into the Karakum Desert. With hot temperatures forecast, it's a taster for what can be expected tomorrow. However, we had rain on the stage today, a bizarre experience for the drivers in the desert with their windscreen wipers on. However, it was just as spectacular as ever. Ruslan Misakov is now looking safe to hold on to his 5th spot on the rally. Since the start, the Nartai Nissan driver has played it steady, and today did the same. He could only manage 10th over the stage, but holds a 36-minute gap to the next best car. Maris Salkins is now too far back to get that 5th spot. The Riga Rally Raid driver was beaten by his teammate today and could only manage 9th. He finished fractions slower than Russian Andrei Berkut. Who knows, his chance is really up. This was a man meant to be inheriting 5th yesterday, but when he lost over an hour to his competitors in the sand dunes, he dropped down to 8th overall. He finished 8th today, losing a further spot in the overall standings due to his lack of pace compared to the rest of the field. His teammate is faring a little better. Ilya Kuznetsov has been on the fringes of the top 10 for most of the rally. He has been rewarded with 6th spot overall, but for the Mitsubishi driver to come best Russian, Kuznetsov needs to find more than the 6 minutes shed today. Bernard Arandone is incredibly a day behind the Volkswagens after his tow last night. After 2 days with engine problems, the Chevy-powered buggy was back on the pace over this special, 6th fastest, 42 minutes behind the lead VW. It'll be a case of missed opportunity when he arrives in Ashgabat, but at least he'll be on 4 wheels. It wasn't just cars and trucks that were on the stages today. There were plenty of animals to contend with as well. Here, Vadim Nesterchuk from the Ukraine, struggling with the conditions, stuck in the sand. A surprise 5th today for Benedictus Vanegas, who only encroached on the top 10 yesterday for the first time. The 32-year-old is the president of the Automobile Club of Lithuania, has much experience in national rallies, but 8th overall in this Dakar series, by far his most impressive achievement to date. The whole VW team were running at a similar pace this morning after crazy antics yesterday, but Gini de Villiers was still slowest of the 4 drivers. He finished 11 minutes down after both front wheels ripped off their rims over a jump. The Tuaregs only carrying 2 spares over the final part of the stage, Gini took it easy, not to pick up any more. Mark Miller was again 3rd fastest after the team received a quiet briefing from team director Chris Nissen last night. The American took 4 minutes out of his pursuers to safely place him in 3rd. With just less than 400 kilometres remaining in the rally, Miller should stay there, 22 minutes off the lead. Carlos Sainz realistically knows there's not much chance of a victory, the ex-world champion commending Al-Attiyah's skills and bravery. With the rain settling the dust, he said it was less of a problem for his followers than he'd experienced previously, and so he lost 2 more minutes to Nasser. He's now 4 minutes overall behind. The time of Nasser Al-Attiyah was even more impressive as the car pulled into the checkpoint at the end of the stage. His tyre was flat. He had already needed a tyre change for the last 2 days. With only 7 kilometres left, he decided to press on. Just 3 wheels driving the car. He'll take it easy tomorrow, aiming to manage the gap to Carlos and not get another puncture.
We try control tomorrow all the race. I am sure Carlos he will push tomorrow, but if he push, we can stay behind him until the finish. It's very important win this race.
And the stage rankings: Al-Attiyah 2 minutes ahead of Sainz, Miller 7 minutes down, de Villiers 11, and then Vanagas 40 minutes off the pace in 5th. Overall, Al-Attiyah is just under 5 minutes ahead of Sainz, Miller 3rd, de Villiers 4th, and Mitakov 4 and 13 minutes down in 5th. The birds might be graceful, but the truck race is particularly competitive. A complex story of retirements and miscommunications. And it continues today with yet more dramas in the Giants. Anish Lopre was 4th and is embroiled in a great battle for 5th overall. The Czech driver, who produces his own energy drinks, is desperate to hold on to that 3rd in the standings, having lost time with technical issues early on in the rally. Today, he drove the last 80 kilometres without power steering, but only lost 8 minutes to Nikolaev, who's closing in. We would have spoken to him, but he was just too tired to talk. Jared De Roy admitted yesterday that he didn't think he could catch Khabarov for the rally lead, but he was still pushing very hard this morning. The Iveco didn't burst the tyre today. Instead, De Roy lost 30 minutes somewhere else. And that was his problem.
Only, I think 110 kilometers before the finish, I could not make the corner, so I went a little bit 2 meters out of the track, and I was stuck in the mud for until the bumper, until the headlight, and yeah, I had to wait for somebody to pull me out.
Even for the rally leader, stage 7 wasn't simple. It is Khabarov here, going down the wrong side of the dune, lost in the landscape. He leads the rally now by an hour and looks comfortable to add this Dakar Series win to his earlier Dakar win in Argentina. He paced himself 12 minutes slower than his more experienced teammate Vladimir Chagin. Eduardo Nikolaev had a great day today, his best of the rally so far. His 2nd place moved the 25-year-old ahead of Mardev and right onto the tail of Alex Lopez, who passed him on the road when Nikolaev made a small navigational error. 2nd today takes him to 4th overall. Ilgazar Mardev started the day in 3rd, but a throttle cable failure cost him 30 minutes. He finished today behind Masek in 7th spot, and will have to drive very hard to stay in this top 5 come rally end. Vladimir Chagin was again fastest man today, his third stage victory of the rally. The Russian driver took 40 minutes out of Mardev, so one more long day, and he may well be able to get back into our top 5 leaderboard. A great effort from the Russian. Sixth spot for Martin Masek was one of his stronger performances, which is surprising considering he helped De Roy. His co-driver Josef Kalina has known the Dutchman for some years, hence his sporting kindness. Ayakov Mektiv in his man finished 9th today and now lies 8th overall as he slowly climbs the leaderboard. Unless there are problems with the guys ahead of him though, he's likely to stay there, 5.5 hours off Khabarov's lead. Jan De Roy lost 2 hours in the first part of the stage today, dropping him to 9th overall, now about 6 hours behind his son. 10th over the stage was Gurban Bernie Danatorov. With the retirement of his teammate Mamedov, he is now the lone truck from Turkmenistan, lying a credible 10th overall, doing his country proud as he crawls through their dunes. The stage rankings look like this: Chagin, Nikolaev, Khabarov, Lopre and De Roy, 4th and 5th with problems. Overall, Khabarov leads, nearly an hour ahead of De Roy. Lopre, Nikolaev and Mardev still fighting over 3rd spot. The Uraltake, a symbol of Turkmenistan, the racing thoroughbred, which sits beside racing thoroughbreds in the Dakar series. The country's really got behind this rally. Massive fans, all the cars and all the trucks. Amazement on the faces every time a car comes past. Speed, see nothing quite like it. We have 2 more days left in Turkmenistan. Tomorrow we visit the president. The 370-kilometre stage will be the last significant running for the cars, and therefore they'll have to do everything tomorrow if they want to win the Silk Road Rally.